Cancer, and this is your February finance, money, career, and business reading. Feel free to like, share, follow across all social media platforms. Leave a comment below if this reading resonates for you. Let's jump right into it. You already know my spiel. Website link below. Feel free to leave a good karma donation. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo below in the description box as well. Share the content with anyone you think might benefit from this reading. This is King of Swords, Cap, Aquarius energy. Talking about thought, logic, and reason. Approaching this month with analytics, thought, logic, reason, thinking. Okay. Four Cups. Not being receptive to an emotional offer. I find that the lack of receptivity is because you have this knowing that there's something more. You're not going to settle. Okay, Cancerian, channeling intuitively from my Cancerian moon as well. You're not willing to settle. There's a reason why you're not being receptive to this cup. After all, you're not going to drink from just any old cup. It's got to be a cup. And even from the divine, your folded arms too. So just keep in mind that, look, if there is a cup coming from the divine, and if it is a blessing, jump all over that cup. Okay? But yeah, if it's just some measly, meager, low vibrational cup, then no, do not consume it. Okay, whatever that might be for you, Cancerian. Point being is that King of Swords energy is saying, hey, look, I'm approaching things with thought, logic, reason. Okay, I'm approaching an art class as if it were a science class. Okay, so keep that in mind, because when you approach art like it's science, sometimes you miss the creative, emotional, wavy, potential there. Okay, Cancerian, that's what I'm getting for you. Four Swords in the upright. This is meditative time out. Really, truly be honest about what you want. Okay, really, truly, your heart's content. Your heart runs the show, right? Your heart runs the show. And when it comes to the mind, you run the show. But, more often than not, at least the old way of doing things, or the old model of the mind, was that the mind is what we identify with, and thus it runs us. The new model, the quantum model, this new, self-help model is spiritual, and it might not even be new as much as, just spiritual, right? Spiritual is ever, kind of revolutionary, returning back to a tradition or standard of old. But point being is that you want to have that coherence between mind and heart. You want to understand that you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, right? Those are all from the past, typically. You're creating who you want to be, starting from here and now. Okay, Cancerian, so merely abundance and success in business, finance, career, opportunity, money, that's a station and a frequency that you're tuning into. Okay? Don't approach a divine emotional blessing. I define it as something that's congruent with your heart. Don't apply it with your mind. Don't approach it with your mind, I should say. Okay, go with your heart. Your heart's your compass. That being said, don't even go for low vibrational thinking and fear energy that may want to try to scare you or rationalize you out of this offer that's truly tailor-made for you and your purpose, right? We're tuning into and we're talking about and we're allowing and being receptive to thriving in that which is our highest possibility, that which is made specifically tailored and particularly for us. Everyone has a special talent. Everyone has something that they're here to do, something that they're good at doing here on this planet, here in this lifetime. It's going to be something that's tailored for you, Cancerian, is what I'm saying, this new opportunity. So don't keep these obstacles up. Don't keep your heart guarded. The high-ranking King of Swords tells me that you are proficient in these analytics skills and realms. Doesn't even have to be occupationally, but it can be. However, again, we're going to want to kind of start to develop more emotionally. I know that, Cancerians, me again being a moon sign, Sometimes we suppress and repress our feelings because they're so strong and powerful. Really, truly, our emotions and our feelings are our superpower as long as we learn how to use them and channel them. So you're essentially a superhero, okay? And when you've realized that, when you've activated that, then you could heal yourself and others. Cancerian, okay? Okay, you got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Could be dealing with, again, these are all just radio stations that we're tuning into. So if you're on the negative side of the, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it's just saying that you're seeing the negative aspect of freedom, okay? As opposed to the awesome, beautiful, powerful, empowering, glistening aspect of freedom. So freedom might even be a fear of yours, but now you're having to emotionally reconnect being free as love and safety and happiness. Okay, not so much to the point where you want to go all the way on the other end of the spectrum, but again, that's where the King of Swords comes in. That practical rationale, that balancing of those Libra scales. On those Libra scales are, guess what? The mind and heart, okay? The mind and heart coherence. That's what we're talking about, Cancerian. There's something to do with your freedom. You're associating freedom and independence with this kind of bleak, it's essentially an unknown. But when you kind of walk in the room and turn on the light, then you're able to rearrange the room how you would like it, and you get to make it as loving and relaxing and comfortable as you would like it, as you deem fit. You're empowering yourself, and quite possibly, you might not be used to that. If that is, what the circumstances for you. But with that Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it's a matter of tuning into that self-empowerment via, not relying on others as much. Nine of Pentacles in the upright is financial freedom and independence. Okay, so you just got to turn that card right side up, and that's all you're doing is tuning into that station of being financially free and independent, and maybe even setting that as a goal and expectation for your life, for your business, for your career, for your finances. Okay, you got the Empress in reverse. I find that you're struggling with this. The Empress in reverse is going through labor and essentially giving birth to a new lifestyle. And so yeah, I use the metaphor of giving birth, right? The Empress in reverse, I read it as she's giving birth, and that's painful. There's a struggle there. Again, point being is that it doesn't have to be hard. You could hit the easy button. You could tell yourself that these things are effortless. These, if it is a transition or if it is a way of being, guess what? You get to wake up every day in the morning and tell yourself, is it going to be easy? Is it going to be hard? Is it going to be, and if it's a mood or something that you default and revert back to, then you have to call yourself on that. If you wake up and you notice that you're in a cranky mood, get yourself in a good mood or tell yourself good things. It starts with the thoughts, and then you're telling your body how to feel. So if you wake up, and I want you to do this, Cancerian, if this is resonating with you, if you wake up and you notice yourself, because it's all about awareness first and foremost. If you notice yourself being moody or cranky or tired, or I want you to take a moment, create a meditative space for yourself, quantumly outside of space and time, inside space and time. I want you to create space for yourself. And in that space, that peaceful, relaxed state, I want you to say, I'm awake, I'm happy, I feel good, everything's all right. And, I want you to do something similar to that for you. You could have fun with it, create, tailor, made to your own likings. But, yeah, so that's kind of like what we're talking about here. As soon as you change your state, and guess what, you're gonna see more opportunity throughout your life, because you're not in this kind of closed, confined, narrow view, perceiving the world, and missing all this external opportunity. But now you're in this kind of like, I'm awake, I'm aware, I'm not in a mood, right? This rainy cloud mood or grogginess or crankiness is no longer dimming my perception from possible opportunity to have a great day and have a great week and have a great month, a year, and essentially a great life. That's just like a little, metaphorical, example for what you want to do in certain instances where you're finding yourself, you're calling yourself on your own bullshit through your awareness, and you're essentially observing yourself in your own moods and your own states. Okay, and you're interjecting, you're plugging in something new. Okay, Cancerian, and then eventually that's creating who you are. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what it is. There's going to be some research and reconnaissance, some studying, some novice energy. Recently I've been pointing people in the direction of Dr. Joe Dispenza, talking a lot about like kind of raising the tide, tuning in and changing your vibration to abundance, right? Abundance is an inside job. You could have all the money and all the cars in the world, but you could still be kind of just like piss poor morally and dead broke internally, spiritually. So you want to be able to balance those scales with that King of Swords, and internally what you're truly feeling and what's in your heart, and being aligned in your heart as well. Yes, and with this comes truth, clarity, and victory, Cancerian. Okay, when you balance those emotional scales with that thought, logic, reason. It's going to require you to stand up for yourself. It's going to require you to kind of like defend your heart, but not so much to the point where you're blocking your heart. Okay? So there's a fine line between, that Seven of Wands is kind of more so in the survival mode of things. But I think there's a fine line between, kind of just like doing things with tenacity and intensity versus, there's a fine line between versus doing things, in this new quantum way of doing things, we're actually channeling, okay, and with that is the realization of things that you want to like stand up for yourself in regards to, okay. So you're not fighting for yourself. You're not turning this, sticking up and standing up for yourself into a fight, because that would be the old way, right? That would be the Newtonian way of matter on matter. Even if it's just emotionally or trying to like forge something, okay? That would be the old model. And in this new quantum model, it's more so kind of creating that space for yourself, okay? Yeah, because in this old, kind of Newtonian matter on matter model, it's throwing you off your synchronicity. It could be low vibration lifestyles, experiences, and that low vibration is keeping you from your blessings and your abundance, that next level of life. It's keeping you from that X marks the spot, essentially, Cancerian. So, yeah. Okay, it could be backstabbing, so be mindful of those, of kind of like a different, a dissonant radio station frequency vibe that they're living in, okay? Because your environment, but you got to know that you're strong enough and you're empowered enough and you are enough and you have enough to influence the environment, as opposed to be influenced by a low vibratory environment, Cancerian, okay? Okay, not accepting any whack offers, going on the straight and narrow spiritually, coming out of passion, lust, substance abuse, codependence. Okay, more in line with that freedom, right? You're freeing yourself from these low vibes, and essentially you're freeing yourself from this identity of identifying with these low vibe things. Okay. Interesting note, I'm a fan of like rap music and stuff. I like to say that as long as you kind of take things with a grain of salt, because some rap could be like inspirational, and this is just an example. It could be, with drinking or whatever you want to kind of like plug in, but take it with a grain of salt, no pun intended. But even like watching the news and things like that, take it with an understanding that like I'm not gonna let this change this inside. Okay, so that's the kind of power that we're talking about here, and if it goes with the flow and it goes with the vibe, then yeah. But if you find that it's throwing you out of your own kind of harmony, then it's not going to be worth your vibe and your energy. Okay, because essentially you're just music, vibrating frequencies, and you're bringing your music into a room. And if a room doesn't harmonize with you, then why are you going to stay there? It's essentially going to want to pull you down, or there's going to be some sort of balancing effect, right? So just make sure that you're harmonizing with, that which you want to actually essentially become, because that's, you end up becoming who you surround yourself with. Okay, something broken down on the side of the road, possibly in the past, pumping the brakes. Okay, feeding the self with love and happiness. Yeah, there could be, again, lack of clarity, confusion, bitterness, resentment. But again, these are all past energies. These are all frequencies and vibes that you could easily exchange and trade out for. Okay, so for instance, instead of being bitter and resentful, be grateful. Repaint and redepict the story of how you feel about your past, or something that broke down on the side of the road. Follow that Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, because that's what that means. Okay? Means something broke down on the side of the road, you invested in it, didn't work out. Revise it, revamp it. I'm not saying lie to yourself, but choose that highest possible, giving yourself the benefit of the doubt. Okay? It could have been a business, could have been money, finances, but guess what? That's the old storyline. You have the pen in hand to narrate who you're going to be and how it's going to be. Okay, Cancerian, I've been giving you an ear beating long enough. I'm going to leave it there. If the comments resonate, holler at your boy for a one-on-one reading. Website link below. And as always, leave a good karma donation. Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo below if you feel so inclined. And happy day to you, Cancerian. Peace.